Action! We're live.
Hello, this is Mr. J, where me, Mike, and Ryan will be talking about our favorite bands from decades all the way back to the 40s. And yeah, we'll start with Duck over here.
That's
Mike.
All right, before we get started, I just wanted to say one thing.
Yes.
We have a little thing going on right now where if you subscribe to our channel, Mr. J, and you put a comment from this video only, then we're going to do a draw, and you have a chance to win some, we're not going to say what it is, but some rock merchandise of some sort. So if, again, just subscribe and throw a comment into this video so that we know you subscribe, we see your a comment, and then you'll hopefully win something.
Yep.
So with that, I also, one other thing I wanted to mention, the concert coming up May 30th, which is a Monday in Toronto.
Yes.
Who is that again?
It's Slipknot.
Slipknot. It's and who's the lead singer? Some Corey something.
Corey
right?
Taylor.
Corey Taylor. Oh yeah, that's it.
Just Corey Taylor. He's an awesome dude.
So I just got news yesterday that I got the time off, and I think you guys have the time off, right?
Of course.
You actually wait? You do?
Yes. So
This is news to me.
We
This
are
is new.
going to the Slipknot concert in Toronto on May 30th.
Awesome.
Again, leave a comment if you're going. Hopefully we'll see lots of people there.
Yeah, say hi to me.
Yeah, because now that we're famous and we got like 1,000 views, you know.
Well, we don't let fame like that get to us,
We'll
but
have to-
we don't want to steal Slipknot's show, But
Yeah.
if they ask us to go on stage for an encore,
Yeah, we're ready. You guys are just.
Well, thanks for telling me. That's new to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that is-
so
that is
I'll get a
excellent.
hotel booked, and you guys are gonna get the tickets.
Yep.
Where you think we're gonna get lawn? Or are you gonna get like front mosh pit or what?
I'd like to get
Mosh
close.
I don't want to get too
Yeah.
close. I'm an old man.
I'm happy
Oh,
no matter what.
oh,
I'm
once
happy
you-
no matter
Once
what.
you blend into the crowd, you'll feel like you're one of
I
them.
won't blend in because I'll be the guy sitting on a chair.
Oh no, they're not gonna let you.
I'm just
They
kidding.
won't let you sit down.
Yeah. They'll take-
Everybody jump up.
Oh
See,
yeah.
I'm just sitting until he says everybody.
I'm good no matter where we are in
All
the
right,
the
so I'll
place,
leave that up to you guys,
Yep.
and I'll make sure there's a hotel, and I'll get us there, and all that stuff. And so anyway, today we're going to talk about our favorite bands by decade, and we'll just kind of go around. And I'm going to start in 1940. Does anybody have a 1930 before I start in 1940?
I couldn't even find 1940.
Okay,
I
so
got
starting
one from
on
the
the 50s.
1920s.
oh, so you might as well start with the 20s.
What is
then.
it? Classical.
Okay, so for the 20, the
Beethoven.
20s, that's get back. It's Robert Johnson, the man who sold his soul so he could play guitar real good.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I didn't
Wow.
think you were serious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That-
A lot of cool videos on
He would have
you'll
been
find.
so different back then, eh? Like, he would have been not like anything else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
He's the guy who made guitar playing so cool and spiritual and just a whole different ride, I guess.
Now, do you have a 30s?
Nah, screw that decade.
Okay. All right, so 40s, I'm going to go with Hank Williams.
Oh, he was on my list though for the 40s.
Was he?
Hank Williams Sr., yeah.
Yeah, because Move It On Over. I can remember hearing that song like growing up, and considering it's from the 40s, that's crazy that Move It On Over, like, obviously people have remade it. Do you know the song? Move It On
Do you know
Over?
Hank Williams Sr.?
Probably not.
I don't
Not
think
Junior,
so.
Senior.
No.
I don't know them.
He was
I
very
don't know what
country,
to
very
do.
country and western, twangy,
Oh,
but
okay.
You remember that song where it goes, she'll do me, she'll do you, she'll do
Oh,
anybody?
yeah, I know that one.
He's the guy that wrote that song.
Oh.
there's a tear in my beard.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
It's all
my
new to me.
1940s. So
It's
favorite
actually
band.
very
I know he's in a band. He's just a guy, but yeah. What do you got
For the 40s?
for the 40s?
For the 40s, I have to take a look at my list. I
Oh,
think that's
no.
my phone right there.
This is my phone.
No, it's not.
This is my phone.
Oh.
Just keep
Oh,
saying
yeah?
it's yours, Ryan, and see.
Oh, yeah? Well, maybe I also have a picture of you on my lock screen.
Do we need to
with the
take
girl.
a break? Did your dog get
No,
off his
no,
leash
no,
out there?
I'll just try out.
No, he's still on there.
Okay.
But yeah, 40s would be Hank Williams Sr. And when I found my phone, and tell you what else I got. Oh well.
I guess it wasn't meant to be.
I guess not.
Huh.
We're gonna have to cut this.
Can you? Oh, is it on the chair beside the chips?
That is it, I think.
All right. No, there's no cuts. There's no
Okay.
cuts. Go grab your phone. This better
Hurry.
be good. This better be good.
It is. In the 40s, I got my favorite blues musician. He's the guy that sang Manish Boy and Hooch Cooch Man. Okay. His name's Muddy Waters.
Oh.
And so if you hear Jeff Healey on the radio, he'll usually cover some of his stuff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and so he's a blues musician I'm a huge fan of.
Nice.
Even bands like Nirvana and stuff like that, they'll try to cover some of their stuff. Yeah, so that's my 40s.
All right, that's good. You don't have a 40, so we'll skip to the 50s.
Yeah.
All right, the 50s is when it all started. I
Yep.
hope you guys all have a
Yep.
50s.
That's when the blues turned into rock.
Okay, now I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and then we're all gonna say who we have, and we'll see if it's the same person.
For the 50s?
Yeah.
One,
1,
two,
2, 3.
Chuck
Elvis.
Berry.
Presley.
Okay, Chuck Berry. I had a second, but
I had
he was on
Elvis
my-
as my second.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
you're more the Chuck Berry.
I got him and I
Yeah.
got Johnny Cash.
Did you? I thought
I have
about
so
it,
much
but
Johnny Cash songs that I
I
know
thought
off
about
by
that one
heart.
too, but I thought we were aiming for more rock.
well, I mean,
I-
back then these are the guys that pioneered it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how many rock musicians are inspired by Johnny Cash? Like it all
Oh,
blends
lots.
in eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yours is Elvis, you said?
Yeah.
Mine's Elvis, Johnny Cash, and yours is Chuck Berry.
Yeah, Chuck Berry and Elvis.
Elvis is interesting. I was watching a video last week, and he was talking about, or the guy that was talking about, Elvis kind of did a lot of movies in the 60s,
Yeah.
and then 1970, he was doing a TV, like a comeback tour thing where he was
Yeah.
because he hadn't toured in a few years and stuff. And there's this one song, and I don't remember the song, but he just nailed it. And like
Is
watching
it a slower song?
yeah, and he was like his voice was intense, like very emotional song. And I think it was right after Martin Luther King had died.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like along those lines. And then I guess he was just like, once he saw this song, he was like, from now on, I'm never gonna sing a song I don't believe in or do a movie I don't believe in. He's like, this is so it like changed him, and he stuck to his word. Like from then on, he didn't do any more like cheap, frilly movies or anything. So
That is cool.
it was neat to hear him sing that song, and his manager was like, that isn't an Elvis song, and Elvis is like, hey man, just give me a chance. He's like,
Yeah.
just give me a chance. And so he did, and like that was Elvis. Like Elvis, you always see like the one piece suit or whatever.
Yeah, the
and
Las
those-
Vegas.
the Las
marriage
Vegas Elvis.
guy.
But to go back and actually look at Elvis and what he did, and like he was up there and he was just
He was in the
wearing
army
a
too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
For a little bit, then he.
I think they took it easy on him, but he was in the
Yeah,
army.
they did.
But yeah, so it was up there in a leather jacket and just putting it all out there. So Elvis is awesome.
Yeah, for me, Elvis is the first song I ever learned on any instrument was an Elvis song called "Hound Dog." It's one of his bigger hits, right? Like the
Yeah.
one that I think that was his first big hit, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was one of them, but
I wasn't paying attention back then.
no, a little busy in the 50s.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was preoccupied.
Yeah, but it was on a ukulele. I was about
Oh yeah.
11 years old, and the first song I ever sat down and learned to play was "Hound Dog."
Huh.
But yeah, for that reason, he's one of my favorites ever. Just because first
That's funny
song.
because one of my first songs I learned was that "Love Me Tender."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, you told me that.
so. I mean, yeah, Elvis is, I guess, part of me too. Part of what I've been learning and playing. Well, you, Josh, any Elvis over there?
Well, I know Hound Dog and
The jail song would be good on the drums.
Yeah, the Jailhouse
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah.
Love that song.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good one.
Motley Crue actually did a live cover of that. And
Did
they did good.
Oh yeah.
They did very well.
Hmm.
Yeah, like Chuck Berry has a couple good songs. Johnny B. Good's probably my favorite.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Match
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
The next, I guess we'll jump to the 60s. You want to do another countdown and see if we get the same band?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
The
Beatles.
Yeah, that was pretty simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Beatles were one of the first bands I ever got into.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, my grandpa would play on the keyboard, and he always had this little guitar because he knew I liked music from when I was about 4 years old. I didn't know what I was doing or anything. I was just strumming the guitar, not even pressing a fret or whatever, but we play a lot of Beatles songs, and then within the next decade or so or more, you know, we still go to his house, and we still play all these Beatles songs. And for that reason, they're a very special band, and I think I have all their albums too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, mostly on CDs. But
Wow. I know Kelly has their ones, or their, I think it's called like ones, where it's just all their #1 hits.
yeah, I got that too. Is it blue? Or is it that red one with the yellow one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got both of them. I got both of them.
But like Kelly was my first kind of dive into the Beatles because I mean, my parents were country music, so I didn't really, pay attention to rock or anything. But then Kelly and her parents were big Beatles fans. So
Yeah, Kelly got me into the Beatles too a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So like, she just loves the Beatles.
Yeah.
Even like Fridays, sometimes we'll throw Beatles on for the afternoon and just crank up the tunes. Nice. They're all simple, like 2.5 minute songs, but
Well, it depends on what era they are, because they took a big turn, in the kind of mid-'60s to almost psychedelic
Yeah.
type rock, kind of
Yeah.
weird stuff. But their first songs were just anyone can just jam to and have a dance with. Like She Loves You and For Me to You, Please Please Me, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of good fun songs.
got any Beatles stories?
Yep.
What you got?
Ringo Starr, one of my favorite drummers of all time. He had a kit that was a snare, one tom up here, and one floor tom, this, and a bass. It was a tiny kit, and he made the best of it. And he was the king of like the feel of drums. Like,
Yeah, whenever you see a Beatles video, he doesn't look like he has much back there. Like,
Yeah, he
compared to
doesn't.
some of
But
these
he
guys.
makes it all come together,
Yeah.
pun intended.
he has the
But,
best feel for drums I've ever seen. He can like his cymbals just sound so like don't really want to say punky, but so
Well, he kind of
sloppy
pioneered
almost.
that punk scene in the '70s, like the Clash and all that.
yeah.
Sex Pistols, all them, like they would look up to Ringo Starr.
Yeah,
and
and
the drum stuff.
yeah,
he
his
would do.
drums, like his cymbals, they sounded really cool. Like I don't know how to describe it. I said punk, but that's not really a good way to describe it. It's just really, really
Sweet.
like I don't know, funky. But yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite drummers. Paul McCartney, he's also a really good musician. One of my favorites
one of your best ever musicians, I'd say.
of all time. Yeah, he's
Is he
one of the
really
best.
that good?
He's really good.
Was he a bass?
Yeah, he was the bassist
He can
and
do
he
it
sung.
all.
Yeah.
He drums. He plays the piano. He can do the guitar.
Huh.
Great voice. He could do it all. He's one of my all-time favorite musicians to look up to.
It's great that they're still going, eh? Like he's still
Paul
going.
McCartney just got a new tour, right?
Yeah, and was it Ringo? That
Yep, Ringo.
Still has his like.
He's
stars?
still putting out albums too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Those guys are getting up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my goodness,
They look really young for their age too.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I mean, if
I think they're both over 75 now.
Paul's about 78, and Ringo's just like 80.
Yeah.
He just hit like 80 or something like that. But either way, they make the best out of what they can do with their lives.
Yeah.
So-
Absolute genius musicians, in my opinion.
Yeah, John and George too, even though they both passed. But George Harrison, he's a legend on the guitar. Like the song "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
yeah.
That's one of them songs that made me want to, pick up the electric guitar and start learning stuff. Okay.
The 70s?
I still got
okay.
some more 60s bands.
Oh, lay it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Rolling Stones. They were actually the first ever record I ever got. or not record, CD I ever bought.
We're not that old.
Well, I buy CDs.
I buy records actually, so
Do you?
yeah.
You have a record player?
Yep.
Nice.
It's one of
I'm
the
a
old
man
Victrola looking things with the big horn on it.
Yeah,
Surprised
it's
you've never seen it.
No.
it's
is
40s looking.
Yeah,
Nice.
we'll show you later. But yeah, the Rolling Stones. Just I remember going to my grandparents' house, and every now and then we'd watch some of the old Ed Sullivan shows.
Oh, yeah.
And they'd always say if the Beatles were on or if the Stones were playing. And yeah, just Stone songs would always hype me up. And Keith Richards, I always thought was just a wild guy
Yeah.
on guitar and as a person too. And then my other one is the Doors.
Oh, yeah.
I think
yeah.
they have some of the most unique writing I've ever heard. And Jim Morrison's also a member of the 27 Club.
Yeah.
And he's another one of my favorite musicians too.
Yeah, who played the organ? Was it like just they're like, we need to get somebody to play the organ, or because in the
it was
Doors,
just three guys, and
was
I
it?
think yeah,
one of them probably was like, hey, I'll play the organ.
yeah. I think they had like those kind of musicians that could go anywhere.
Yeah,
It was-
they just was like naturally gifted for music to come out of them.
Yeah.
And they just had to pick something. And
Josh, anything else for the '60s?
I mean, there's a lot of good ones. It's just it all comes down to the Beatles. The Beach Boys were good.
I had the Beach Boys as a maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people, they're poppy and all that, but back in the '60s,
They were catchy.
they were catchy, and that's
They're just
all you
fun
can try to
music right
do.
there,
Like,
yeah.
you want to look at success, look at somebody, like the Beach Boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones is definitely good. That was my second, but Beach Boys, they were pretty good too.
I would agree. Yeah. What an interesting story they are. Like just with the bandmates and yeah, crazy group.
You remember that whole Live Aid thing that they did back in '85 and Queen?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the only time they ever got back together for a reunion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just a little.
Was
fact. I
that
don't
when
know if it's
Kokomo
100%
come out?
true.
Were they together for that?
I don't
Because
know.
that I think was later, right? Because
It was later.
I'm
but
gonna say something maybe not very popular, but the kids were watching Full House the other day, a throwback, and it was a Full House episode where they go on stage with the Beach Boys. So I feel like Full House was in the '90s, right?
Full House,
Yeah,
like
something
late
I don't-
'80s or something like that.
Yeah.
don't
So
know
I
back
wonder
then.
if that was maybe the last time they got together.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, they had some kind of reunion after a long gap.
Yeah, that would have been an interesting concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you want to do the same thing with the '70s?
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. The
Van
Led
Who.
Halen.
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin, Van Halen, The Who.
Yeah.
All right. So The Who for me, another group, because I grew up with my parents in country music and I didn't really have a way to listen to anything else. A lot of this is like lately for me, but The Who, and funny enough, it was I think CSI Las Vegas were listening to that "Who Are You" at the beginning of the TV
Yeah.
show, and it was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you see the New York one where was it like was it Bubble O'Reilly? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Is that or is
Bob
that?
O'Reilly.
I don't know. Maybe
Out
it's,
here in the fields, we've
that
performed
might
for
be
our
the
news.
Miami one I'm thinking. But there,
I know what you mean though.
yeah. But anyway. There's 3 Who songs and 3, and I'm like, well, this they must be pretty good. So then you start digging into the music, and you're like, wow, they're really good. Like they probably were actually started in the '60s,
Yeah.
but the '70s is
did.
where they got big.
I think '67 was when they started. But yeah, '70s was their prime time, I guess you could call it. Yeah, great group. One of my all-time favorite logos too.
Is it?
I just love the logo. It'd be on my fridge, but someone took it off.
Yeah, the fridge doesn't have any of that stuff on it anymore. It's
I
kind of
know.
sad.
Yeah, some jerk did that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Took all that stuff off there.
Yep.
Anyway, Van Halen for me was that band that was just like, okay, get me that guitar right now, and I'm gonna learn how to do it. The song that they covered by Roy Orbison.
Yeah. Pretty Woman.
That one, and there was Running with the Devil. those two songs right there just made me want to go, okay, I'm getting a guitar. I'm going to spray paint it red with white stripes on it. And I did, and it looked terrible. That's it now. It's not.
Okay, it's been fixed.
Yeah, but I think David Lee Roth was just an excellent showman.
Yeah.
Him and Sammy Hagar. I always say this when I talk about the band is David Lee Roth is the ultimate entertainer, but if you want wonderful vocal talent, Sammy Hagar. But I would say I'm more of a David Lee Roth. Like their album's a little bit better with him just because they're more, I don't know, fun,
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, that was the ultimate guy that made me want to go, okay, guitar time.
And what did you have?
I had Led Zeppelin.
Another amazing band.
Yeah, that's another one I really like. The drumming in it's pretty cool. A lot of cymbals in it.
John Bonham.
Yep. But some songs I really like by him, I really like Ramble On. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I like
Heartbreaker.
That's my
Yep,
favorite.
Heartbreaker. Stairway to Heaven, of course. It's
It's epic.
Yeah, one of the most well-known songs ever.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I like Alice Cooper a lot. I'd say he's kind of one of the creators of hair metal.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Same with Van Halen.
Yeah.
They both were kind of the pioneers of that.
Yeah, he has some good songs, and I really like Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I had them on my list too.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
The Wall, like I listened to that album so many times in the middle
Yep.
of class.
That's my favorite album by them.
I haven't got into Led Zeppelin. Like I appreciate them and I hear all the stuff on the music, like all the radio. I should sit down and try to find a concert on YouTube or something and really hear them.
Oh,
They're
I'll
pretty
give you
good.
some suggestions.
Oh,
I know
yeah?
some pretty good shows that they've done.
Because I feel like I'd probably really like them just based on what they. Because I am more like with that country background, and they're not as heavy. I don't think like they're like even the Ramble On like it's
Yeah, they got a fair amount of like acoustic stuff
Yeah.
too. That's fun to jam.
like when you
with or
like
whatever,
Stairway to
but
Heaven where
Yeah, they're not really like a hard rock band. They're just kind
They
of like
can
a
be.
they
They're
can be,
soft-
which is
Yeah, I know, but they're
They
kind
were
of more
borderline
soft
metal
rock.
when they came out. They were borderline.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying mainly they're kind of soft.
I love a band where you go and watch them in concert, and throughout the concert, at one point they pick up on acoustic, like
Yeah.
that because there's some
Yeah, like
bands
when we
that
watch Poison.
they won't do that,
Yeah.
and which is fine, that's good too. But when you see them, rock band not afraid to pick up an acoustic, it's like you're
More
not
raw.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So I feel like I'd really like Led Zeppelin.
And I guess my other band was Black Sabbath.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a huge
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne fan. And Tony Iommi's riffs for like Iron Man and Paranoid, just killer.
Did he stay? Like, what did he do when Black Sabbath broke up?
While Black Sabbath went on, they had, Dio, Ronnie James Dio.
Sure.
He does Holy Diver.
Okay.
Well, he took over, and then Ozzy started his own thing, and
Yeah.
he did Crazy Train and all that.
Yeah.
Then they got Reunion back in
Which is
98.
crazy. Like, Ozzy's gonna leave us. Good luck. And then he comes out with Crazy
Apparently he
Train.
was fired.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it.
There's a lot of things I wouldn't doubt about Ozzy. But
Yeah.
overall, he's one of my favorite all-time performers and my favorite person to impersonate.
Oh. Okay.
You should show everyone, Ryan.
All right, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. What's a quote
Does
Ozzy
it matter?
said?
It's all gonna sound the same.
I don't know. Say something about Sharon.
Oh, sure. Find me my bass, please. I once found Randy Rhoads in the back of my tour bus.
Awkward silence.
I
Trying to-
forget what I was about to say. That's Ozzy and
No, you gotta do. Someone's taking all my beers or something.
Someone has went into my room and is taking all my beers from my room.
Who would do that, Ozzy? Who's the beer thief? You're the beer thief.
Was that from the TV show?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
watched that.
I showed that to Josh and we died laughing at it because that's literally Ozzy. He thought
Yeah.
someone stole his beers when he was hammered drunk. But yeah, I love Black Sabbath. Always will.
Another band I never really got into.
Have you lost your mind?
Like I hear
Can
the
you
stuff on
see,
the
or
radio.
Are you blind?
Or are you naming song names, or what are you doing over there?
You wouldn't get it. If you were a Sabbath fan, you would.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But I mean, yeah. Mama, I'm coming home. Was that Sabbath or was that Ozzy?
That was Ozzy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know this stuff. All right. So let's skip over to the 80s.
1, 2, 3.
Definitely.
Guns N'
Motley Crue.
Roses.
Wow, you guys both took 2 of my bands.
Well, I have Van Halen as my number 1, and you obviously said them for the 70s, so I feel
Yeah,
like
I like their 70s stuff, the early stuff they did with David Lee Roth. But yeah, you can go first with Van Halen.
well, I mean, it's just I like listening to them. I mean, it's.
What's your favorite singer? You like Hagar, right? What'd you say?
I don't know if I can say. I
You gonna start controversy?
No, I don't. They're both.
They
I
both
mean, my
bring something
favorites-
great to the table, but like I said, one brings entertainment and
They're-
a heck of a good show.
It's one of the only bands where they're secondary. Like, it doesn't really matter because like my favorite song is that Eruption song.
Does that count?
Well, I'm just saying they don't even sing on it. Like the what makes the band isn't the singer. You know, they
It's
could have.
the instrumental.
Yeah,
I
it's
see what you're
it's
saying.
the lead singer that makes, or the lead guitarist that makes the band. So, I mean, they're both great. I don't know because I really like some of their later stuff. Right Here, Right Now, isn't that a song? Yeah, like so. I like that, but I like their earlier stuff too. So earlier stuff it does seem a little more like they're teenagers having fun.
Yeah, and then
So
they
it's,
kinda
as you
grew
get
up.
older, you
Yeah.
kind of veer away a little bit from it, and the later stuff is more adulty, I'd say.
Yeah, more deep, more mature.
But when you're like working in the garage or doing something, they're both awesome.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it matters. Would you?
I don't like when they compare singers, because like I said, I think
Yeah.
they both bring something great.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess mine's Motley Crue. Became a huge Crue fan probably 2008 when they had their We Are the Saints album, and my dad would crank it in the truck because I'd be with other kids, friends at daycare or whatever, and we'd all just be singing we are the Saints," and then I kind of mumbled it in gibberish because I didn't really know what I was talking about. But yeah, since that album, I kind of became a Motley Crue fan, and I have all their records. I've read a lot of their books. I think their songs are just all around fun, punk, punch people in the face kind of music. And some of my favorite guitar riffs to do are what Mick Mars does on the guitar.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they're another show I'd like to see. Hopefully someday.
Could happen. And what was yours, Josh?
I chose Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong
they're on
with-
my list too.
Yeah, they have a lot of big hits. Like one of the biggest bands of the 80s. Yeah, my favorite's probably got to be November Rain.
That
Very,
is a great song.
yeah, very weird video though.
Is it? I don't remember.
It's not weird. It's just confusing and kind of like
It's
what's going on now type of video. There's like
it
a
just
story
doesn't
to
make
it.
much sense.
It kind of does. You have to kind of read.
Yeah, you have to
into
read
the
into it. If you just
music.
watch the video, you don't know what's happening. But yeah, I like November Rain, Live and Let Die. Civil War is one of my favorites for sure.
2 of those songs are covers.
Oh,
Well, that's
really?
when I think of Guns N' Roses now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, they did a lot of cover. They did a great job.
Yeah,
They made it
Knocking
their
on
own.
Heaven's Door was a cover by Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
and Civil War, that was. I used to know. Might have also been. I could be wrong.
Actually, want to know something funny about the song Civil War?
Yeah, it was.
My
it was
dad, my dad, he told me that when he was in high school, he had to do a history project and he really didn't want to do it. So he put on the song Civil War. He just had the whole class listen to it and just said, listen to this, it'll give you all information of this or whatever. So he played that song, and then that was his whole thing.
Then he
So he
talked
didn't have
about,
to do
like,
much.
some of the lyrics, like he half did it, but
And your dad isn't really a music guy, which makes it even more hilarious.
Yeah, he just chose that
He loved
song,
Guns N' Roses.
repeated some of the stuff after the song played, like, this speaks to me or something like that. I have no idea, but that's one of the funny parts about that song.
conflict is bad.
Yeah, and they obviously,
Guns N' Roses is good.
yeah, they obviously have a lot more big hits. Sweet Child O' Mine, which, it's a good song. It's not my favorite, though.
I hate that song.
Do you?
So does Slash.
I
Does
got
it?
Slash hates
so
it.
tired of it. Like, I love every song that they've ever did, but that one, just because.
Welcome to the Jungle's a good one. Patience is a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the story about my dad, Motley Crue. Not Motley Crue, sorry. Guns N' Roses.
So I also had Def Leppard
Yep.
I had that
too.
on mine too.
more because, again, I didn't really know. I remember in school we would
Listen to Hysteria.
we would take the bus, and if the kids at the back of the bus were good, the bus driver would put in the cassette tape in the bus. And a lot of times it was like AC/DC or Def Leppard or somebody.
Ew.
So when I
That's
was like
cool.
5, 6, 7 years old, I remember, like, cause country music growing up. So I'd get on the bus and I'd sit in the front seat, and there'd be just like, and he would blast it, and you'd be hearing Def Leppard.
What
and
a
stuff.
cool dude.
Yeah, I think his name was Lloyd. I don't know why I remember that, but yeah. So I a lot of when I was younger, like that's how I heard a lot of the rock, a lot of the, and it was like Alice Cooper and like some of that stuff that back
Yep.
then would have been like a little outrageous for the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was really neat because I'm like, what is this stuff? So Def Leppard, and then obviously we saw them. So I
Yeah.
saw the concert, and I kind of was like, wow, they got like every song they played. I'm like, I don't know the names of these songs, but I know the song.
Yeah, because they're constantly on the radio.
Mhm.
But yeah, Def Leppard was the ultimate show when I was about grade 8 or so. Me, you, and Dad, we got to see it, and I'd still call it the best night of my life. And at the time, that was my favorite band ever.
Just wait till Slipknot.
Yeah, we'll see about that, but
April
Yeah.
17th, 2017.
yeah,
That was the date that we went and
Yep.
saw. Yeah.
Grand
Grand
Rapids,
Rapids.
Michigan.
Yeah, that was a good. It's been a while. Yeah, we're gonna make sure we do that May one.
Yeah, and so I got all of their records too. Phil Collins, the guy, made me want to get this Jackson guitar behind me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's another interesting guy to look up and just to realize what a career he's had. Like,
yeah, he's an artist too. Like he
Yeah.
has some pretty cool stuff. He was one of them guys that take a guitar and he just spray paint all over it and calls it
yeah.
art.
Does he?
It's pretty awesome. But yeah, got all their records. They were my ultimate favorite band. I'd be playing Halo or something like that, and because I had all the records
Halo,
on
Halo.
CD.
I can see you, Halo. I'm just kidding.
That's a different song.
Oh, is that a different song? Oh, sorry.
But yeah, Def Leppard rocks.
Mm-hmm. And what did you have, Ryan?
I'm Josh.
Or Josh? Sorry.
Wait, he's Josh.
Do you guys switch seats?
We can.
I've also
Want
had.
to switch spots?
No, please don't.
It's okay. My second one was also Def Leppard.
And then, do you have any other ones?
Well, Motley Crue's good, but he already picked it.
Yeah. Part going last.
Skid Row has some good stuff.
What's the Skid Row song? Is that the
18,
18
in
Life.
life.
18
Slave to the Grind.
Yeah, okay.
I remember you.
Yeah.
I remember you. Okay.
That's the first song I taught him on the guitar. Was
That's
actually
a
that.
really good song.
It is.
Okay, you got another thing for the 80s?
I do.
Metallica.
Yeah.
80s Metallica.
Your dad's a huge Metallica fan.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He only likes
The one? Is that what it is? The one with the gunfire?
He likes that song and he likes anything on that Black album.
Well, see, that's
But-
what your dad doesn't like. Your dad will not. If you're like, hey, what's your favorite band? Your dad isn't going to answer the question. So the fact that we know that he likes Metallica.
He likes the Tea Party too. if you
Does
know
he?
them.
Yeah, he
That's
likes
his
the
favorite
Tea
band.
Party. He likes Cinderella.
That's the first. Was that the first Canadian band mentioned on any of our, on this podcast?
No, we talked about Rush and Trash.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Nickelback.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
okay.
completely bashed a couple of them.
Yeah. So this is a Tea Party. Yeah, I remember the Tea Party's a good band.
Yeah, if he likes some Avenged Sevenfold, that's probably the newest band he's ever liked.
Oh yeah.
He likes 3 Days Grace.
Yeah, he does like 3 Days Grace.
And all right, I guess we'll move on to the 90s now.
Okay, I did
I
have
like Poison
Aerosmith.
too.
Aerosmith
Poison's
in
a good
the
one.
80s,
Tesla's a good one.
Poison's
Yeah.
the best show I've ever seen live, and I think Bret Michaels is awesome. All right.
90s on 3.
90s on
1,
three.
2, 3.
Nirvana.
Alice in Chains.
Whoa.
Okay, you go first with that one.
Okay, Alice in Chains. That is by far my favorite grunge band. I've talked about them in our last podcast, how I really like the Dirt album and the Jar of Flies one, I guess,
like
because
Jar
they were
of
all
Flies.
because they were
let's
all
not-
mixed
let's not go
up.
there, please.
Yeah, and then he edited it, and I think now we know.
Yeah, we know.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right. I didn't say you weren't right. I'm
guys,
just saying.
guys,
Let's
guys,
go on.
we almost
Alice
got
in
in a
Chains
fist
is
fight
great.
last time. Let's.
Alice
Okay.
in Chains is great. Now keep going.
Okay. But yeah, they have absolutely amazing songs. Their biggest hit was Man in the Box, I believe. Everyone
Yeah,
knows
they had
that
a
one.
lot. They had a lot.
They had a lot, but Man in the Box
Alice
is
in the
the
Rooster. Is that Alice in Chains?
Rooster.
was
Yep.
big. Wood was big.
Wood.
Angry Chair was big.
Yep.
Bones were big.
Yeah, they had a
But
lot
if
of big
I
hits.
know it, then it was like really
No.
big.
It means they were bigger than the Beatles. If
Yes,
you know it.
yeah.
Yep, the singer of it, Lane Staley.
My
He
favorite
is-
singer of all time.
Yep, he's one of my favorites. He is
He's still
absolutely
around?
amazing. No,
he
he
died.
he passed away.
I was gonna say
He had the
there's
worst
something
death.
about the. You can talk about all the crazy drugs going on in the 70s and even the 60s, the 80s, all those bands.
90s, like
90s.
I think Pearl Jam's the only like singer that's
so
left.
many of them have died.
And Smashing
Yep.
Pumpkins, but
Like there's obviously a few, but when you look at how
they're
many died,
usually by drug overdoses because it got pretty bad. around
the
that
suicide
time.
or drug overdose. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a heck of a change from looking like chicks and talking about getting drunk and whatever, and
Mhm.
to kind of going into this spiral of just almost depression and rage and whatever.
But I think is the reason that music will live on for a long time, even though people will say it's not the best kind of rock. It has its niche and it's very different. And I think when you guys, like people hear it and they resonate with it because it was raw. Like these guys put their life and soul into it, and then when they did that, all of a sudden they were kind of like gave up on life. Like that's heavy.
Yeah,
You know,
those
so
are the
It is,
best musicians, the ones that put their heart into it and
Yeah.
are just
Corey
complete.
Taylor.
Corey Taylor, for
He
example.
puts all
Chester
of it
Bennington,
into
Lane Staley, Chris Cornell.
Kurt
Like,
Cobain, Scott Weiland.
yep, there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
They just put their hearts into it, and sometimes it gets the best of them. Sometimes they can just fight through it, but yeah, overall they're all amazing musicians. My second one was Soundgarden, actually,
I
Chris
knew-
Cornell.
Yeah, that's one of mine too.
Yeah, and then the third was Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That's a good
Also
one.
one of mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one.
Well, you
Wasn't
paid-
it you that saying they were been together for a super long time?
Since
Yeah,
like the
it's
80s.
83. They
83.
put out
Yeah.
their first record
that's-
in 84.
that's
I have
crazy.
all of it, and I've listened to every single one.
And then
Like-
what band did you say for the 90s?
Nirvana,
Nirvana.
of course.
Say no more, right?
I don't have to.
Yeah.
What's yours? Everclear?
Everclear. I mean, favorite band. I got to go with Everclear.
I guess we kind of already covered that topic.
Yeah. So we can skip right over to the 2000s.
Wait, I got.
Oh, you got some more. All right. Honorable
Stone
mentions.
Temple Pilots,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good. One.
Pearl Jam,
Yep,
Smashing Pumpkins.
yep.
That's it.
Oh,
You
is
said
that
the
it?
rest.
Atlantis
I had a whole
Morissette?
list.
No Atlantis Morissette on there. A little Canadian flavor.
I do like Alanis Morissette.
that jagged little pill album. Is that what it was called?
Yep, Jagged Little Pill with You Oughta Know.
Yeah. Some good stuff on
Yeah, my mom showed me that one.
there. Yeah. That's
Do you
That
guys
was
got
awesome.
2000s?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I got some 2000s.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Now that I'm not gonna even do the 1, 2, 3 because these are shady 2000s because I don't know. Like my first one's Blink 182.
Okay,
and
that's a good one.
I think they
Punk.
put out an album in like June of 1999.
That doesn't count. Like
Enema of
like
the
with
State?
Van Halen, like I
Yeah,
said, the 70s,
exactly.
it doesn't really matter. It's when
Yeah.
they're at their most relevant.
Yeah, so Blink 182 is my
Yeah,
number one.
that counts.
Okay.
Mine was 3 Days Grace. That's my favorite 2000s band.
And
Their next
mine,
album's my favorite.
mine is by far Linkin Park, as it always will be.
Enough said.
Favorite band.
Enough said.
Yep.
I also had.
I had Shinedown on there. I had Stone
Well, I guess
Sour,
that's all
and
I
I had
had.
Slipknot as well.
Yeah, that's getting a. I was starting to get out of. They say that you have a certain period in your life, and that music always sticks with you. And I think
Yeah.
the 2000s was kind of the end of it for me. I was like going into college, and it was kind of like I had put in my bands are there. So it's
Yeah.
hard for me to come up
Yeah.
with new bands now
Yeah.
because I'm stuck into those.
Music was so much different though in the 2000s. Like 2000s, like you could start to download it. You could only put out singles. Like you could start to do that because
yeah.
that started to happen. And
hmm Yeah, I remember when I was at college, one of the guys in my class would always burn CDs for everybody in the class, and it was cool back then. So you'd give
that
them
is
your
awesome. I
your-
wish we could have done that.
you
but-
give him your list of music and $10 or whatever, and he'd make you 20 songs on a CD, and he'd have the labels and everything. I probably still have a few at home, but yeah, that
He's
was
a cool dude to hang out with then.
Well, he dropped out shortly after, but I mean.
I
you
mean,
know.
he seems to be doing all
He
right
probably-
with
yeah,
the CD
he's-
business.
Yeah, he probably had a little CD business going. He didn't need the college. I don't know. So does anybody else have any other 2000s?
I got Creed and Slipknot.
Yep.
I like Creed.
I
Me
like
too.
Slipknot.
I like the radio. I've never listened to a Creed album.
They're pretty good. They have a lot of hate though.
I know they do.
They're
It's,
a-
Yeah.
it's like Nickelback,
Yeah.
the U.S. version.
Yeah, that was. What did I put that for? I put that in my 2010s.
Yeah,
for
both
Nickelback.
those bands have the same thing in common. They sound good. Like I think they sound fine, but
Mhm.
a lot of people
Yeah,
hate
I
them.
love the sound of Creed.
I saw Nickelback.
And
Is it
Nickelback.
Jimmy Kimmel that has people read bad tweets about themselves?
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
Nickelback was on there, and
yeah. Chad Kroeger was on there.
and he
yeah.
read it. It was like, your songs sound like they're all like belong in the toilet or something. And he's like, funny, that's how we make our song. Like he's just having fun with it. And it's like,
Oh, you have to take it that way.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can do
it
it.
was funny how quick some of those guys have a comeback when they read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all good. Creed, I can like Creed. Again, it just that was a time period where I really listened to 89X, and they went back when they played decent music and stuff, and
Yeah.
so yeah, all that
Yeah,
stuff's
I
good.
still listen to that channel a little bit. I think they're
Uh,
country now, though.
Are they?
I think so.
I haven't since COVID hit. There's so much that
That and Dave and Chuck the Freak. they
yeah,
got
I
some
haven't
pretty
listened
good
to
stuff.
them in 2 years. But so the 2010s, it's technically a decade.
I can't believe it's over.
2010s.
And I do have one now. Cage the Elephant.
Yeah, that actually. Now that you bring that up, that would probably be one of my favorites too.
They're kind of. I think they released an album in 2008. I read it and I'm like, they probably weren't big till 2010.
One of their albums, the one that came out in 2008, I think it was a self-titled. Yeah, it was self-titled. Me and my buddy Logan, me and him were obsessed with that album for
Oh,
a
yeah?
couple months. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. we
Ain't No
spent
Rest for the
cards to
Wicked was a
that.
good one. Cover Me
Yeah.
Again, James Brown, In One Ear. It was pretty good. But for my 2010s, since they were still very relevant in 2010s, Linkin Park.
They
Fair
were when
enough.
I looked up
Fair
like
enough.
2010s. Linkin Park was on the list. So
Yeah, they were
It's
still
legit.
very relevant in the 2010s, all the way up to 2017.
thanks to the Transformers.
Yeah.
Revenge of the
Stone
Fallen.
Sour, if they'll count that for.
Yeah.
You know, that's
That-
more 2000s.
No, it's 2010s if you want it to be.
Okay.
Let's be honest. There's not a whole lot in 2010s.
No, it does get hard because so many bands.
I only got 2 written down, and I had like 20.
What do you have for
names.
2010s?
I got Avenged Sevenfold, which is it's also 2000s.
Yeah.
And I got Nickelback, which is also more the early 2000s too. Like I don't really know a whole lot of
Like, what's the band that does that? I know my songs know what you did in the dark.
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
Like,
Fall Out Boy.
you know, they have some pretty good stuff. But I'm just like, I don't know. It's like Imagine Dragons. People say they're rock, but it just doesn't feel rock. But in
Yeah,
10
me
more
and
years,
Josh
we're
were
going to
just
be like,
talking about how we thought bands like that kind of sold out, like Panic at the
Yep.
Disco.
there's no such thing as sellout. Panic at the Disco I never liked them, but I can understand why
two
people
songs.
like it. They always talk about their mama.
Mama said, "Don't give up."
Yeah, you
Yes.
told me that last time.
Yeah,
we were
and then
here.
there's their other song they talk about mama. I'm like, that's weird.
I don't know. I guess he likes his mom.
His mom must have been very good to him. So yeah, it's hard because there are some bands and then you almost have to see them live because maybe when you see them live and you see them pull out their instruments and play them, and it doesn't sound anything like the radio, you realize, okay, this is a legit rocker. Like Imagine Dragons, they do have a band. You know, and
Yeah.
I've watched the live concerts while I'm working. Your dog wants to eat those chips.
Yeah.
So
Don't touch those.
I don't like maybe they are rock. I don't know. I don't know what maybe in 10 years we'll be like,
Well, they kind of all went mainstream,
yeah.
like all kind of pop, and even some of them, like Maroon 5 at one point was kind of punk, and then now they're like they're doing rap stuff. Put it that way.
Yeah, Maroon 5's first album was it
They sell out.
Jane or Janie or something about Jane?
I don't know. They had that
Songs
first,
about Jane?
Yeah,
Something
it was
that?
like punk and stuff. And then
But
me
it
and
was
Josh talked
it
about
was
how they sold out.
rockish. Like
Some of their older stuff was okay, but
I don't
as a
like 'em.
band, I don't have much respect for them.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I'll be
I
completely
respect
honest, I don't
them
have any.
I
because
don't like Adam Levine.
they're successful. Like I'll give them credit. You have to do something to be successful. So I'll give
Yeah.
them credit for that. But as far as I would never go to a concert. I'd rather
No.
go to a Pink
No.
concert any day than to go to a.
Oh, I'd
Maroon 5.
I'd love to see Pink.
I think Pink. She like I don't know. I've seen
She's
her cover.
entertaining. She's entertaining.
I've seen her cover some old country songs, and to me, like the acoustic in a concert, like that's what that is to me. It's like it shows that you're not selling out. Like you might sell out on the radio, but that's not who you are, and you're not afraid to put yourself out there and
Yeah.
do something like that. So, and anyway, guess we should wrap this up.
Yep.
Yep.
So again, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment on this video to win something.
Yep.
And other than that, yeah.
Nacho.
Thanks.
See you.